in opposite. Welcome to Ask Susan, the place to be every Sunday. Ask Susan Sunday Live, your place to ask your questions here on Congruent Living. If you're new to Ask Susan Sunday Live, this is a conversation, not a dialogue or a monologue, and we have a theme every week. And the theme this week is how are you learning, what are you learning, and how do you find it affects who you truly be? People are writing me with like, oh, I've been down, I feel stressed, what does pivoting mean? Hey, Daniel. Hey, as you come on in, tell us where you're from. We got an international community here. I just dove right in deep. We're talking about how do you learn, right? Do you check in with yourself? Do you check in with your source, who you truly be? Or are you mimicking what other people tell you you have to learn? And how's it working for you? So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here every Sunday. And if you're watching this later, press #replay. Yeah, this is the place to be for seekers, for creatives. I'm the person that you come to when you desire clarity on what you want to create and how you want to create it. And that's what Ask Susan's all about. What questions do you have about what you're creating and how you're creating? So today's question is, I want you to kind of take an aerial view of how you live your life, how you create your life. And the question is, how do you learn, right? And it's a really important one because we all learn in different ways. Some of us learn through seeing, some of us learn through writing, some of us learn through auditory, right? Some of us have a mixture of both, all. Some of us require texture, some of us, it's what do you require, right? What do you require in how you create? And are you actually gifting yourself that, right? I realize that I actually require a conglomeration of many things, right? That I was looking at this and asking myself some questions. Am I an experiential learner? Are you an experiential learner, right? Or are you a cultural learner? Do you learn from your culture? And how much of that do you then check in with yourself, with who you truly be, and ask, am I mimicking somebody else's reality in deciding that this is how I learn, or deciding to learn it their way? Am I checking in with me and asking how does this resonate with me? I mean, I don't know about you, but there are so many times where somebody said, oh, this is how you do it, or this is what you need, or this is what's required, and I'm like, okay, like a little puppy, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And how much are we taught as very, very young children to learn in a specific way to please somebody else, right? Hey, Patricia, welcome. So, when we're taught at a very young age to regurgitate, to feed back, to show somebody we've learned something, how much of that is to please them, and you get what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for how can I make them happy, you tend to divert the way that you truly learn to the way they want to believe they've taught you that's beneficial for you. Like how many of us were told, I'm telling you this for your own good. Really? Yeah. So as adults, how many of you are carrying with you the tool that you actually required, perhaps for survival, right? But certainly not for thrival. And you're wondering why now, when you go to reach for something greater, you get pulled back to what actually doesn't work for you in order to make somebody else happy. I know myself as, hey Mary, I know myself as a highly, highly functioning Uber creator, autistic, star seeker, someone who came here for more to this planet. I've often been puzzled by the way that people tell me something has to be done, and I've tried, years ago, I used to try to fit in to this reality, whatever that was, and do exactly what I was told, and yet at the same time, not at all matching the expectation of what somebody was telling me to do. And I felt like, for years, I felt like I never could achieve what it was somebody else wanted to achieve for me. It was only when I started to really look into all the different tools that are available for me, it was only when I started to really ask myself what it is that I would like to create, what's congruent with me, right? With the way that I see the world, with the way that I am in the world, that I let go of learning for someone else, that I let go of learning in a way that actually didn't resonate for me. And so that's the conversation we're having today. How do you learn? You know, take an aerial view, go through your life. Just kind of take a breath and go through your life and ask yourself, where are those spots? Where are those high points in which I actually was like, yeah, this feels so good. It was so orgasmic what you were learning and what you were creating. You didn't even question, is this right or wrong? Or am I pleasing somebody else? It was just like, yeah, I'll have that, right? I'll have that. Because part of learning is acknowledging, right? Yeah. And gratitude and appreciation that you actually do learn in a different way than most people will say to you or show you or teach you, right? And it's about honoring that. My friends used to tell me that I was such a rebel. You know, when I went through graduate school, one of my friends said, oh, I saw you on the top of a mountain going like, yeah, being rebellious for everything that you were being told. And I thought I was swimming as fast as I could to keep up with everyone else, right? So, you know, how much of that was just me honoring the way that I be, right? The way that I learn, the way that I am. Are you honoring the way that you be, who you truly be, and the way that you take in information and what you do with it? You know, part of taking in information is, are you willing to receive what it is that you are asking for? Right? So how many of you actually rebel against perhaps something that would give you clarity because you're not used to doing it that way, right? I'm creating different systems right now, working with my clients in a way that actually gives me more space and more time, right? To play, to create, to be with them in a different way. What about you? You know, what about you and the way that you create? How's that working for you? Have you decided that you have to learn to create in a specific way without actually tapping into you, the source of you, right? That innate river that runs inside you of creativity, of knowledge, of knowing, of seeking? Or have you put that aside and said, well, as soon as I learn this, I'll be able to do that? The thing is, you have to include the universe in this, right? So for myself, it was like, oh, I knew with a different system that in place, there would be more for me, for my business, for my life, for my living. More ease, more joy, you know, more congruency. What about you? Any questions, anything popping for you with this topic today? First of all, let me see if we're in the right lane. Can I see some thumbs up or hearts? Are we, you know, is this topic in the right lane for you? And by the right lane, I mean, is there anywhere that you're actually bumping against the way that you've been learning? Hey, Janie, welcome. The way that you have been learning, right? Because if it doesn't work for you, it actually doesn't work with the universe, right? If it doesn't work for you, you know, how many of us learn in resistance and reaction, right? Hey, Claudette, welcome. Oh, Cassette, welcome. If it doesn't work for you, and by I say work for you, I mean really ongoing working with the energies, right? With the shifts, with all the dimensions that we play in all at the same time. If it doesn't bring you joy, are you going to resist the possibilities of creating greater? How many of you go back to what you were told, to a way that you were told, that actually doesn't work for you? And that's what I'm inviting you to this week. That's my home play, my challenge for you. To just take an aerial view of how you create and ask yourself, put it all on paper. Ask yourself, so what part of this actually works for me? And are you willing to receive what your inner source, what the universe has for you in a totally different way? than what you thought it would look like, or what you thought somebody would say. So, this could be a quickie today. Oh, good. Yay, I got a thumbs up. For me, it's been huge. Because, you know what, when I was in graduating from primary school, I was told I was mentally challenged. I was told, be grateful that we're passing you, right? Well, I went through 3 schools in 4 years in my high school years. And everywhere there was like a bump up, a bump up, a bump up. And I was like, I didn't have a point of view about me. It was more like, this is interesting, these high school years. And then it took me 10 years to go through college as I was raising 4 kids. Again, I have a different way of being, right? The texture of my life is what works for me. And then in graduate school, you know, the students made fun of my thesis, yet they asked me to be the speaker for graduation. So would you be willing to acknowledge that you are right now where you've been asking to be? Are you willing to receive the different that you truly be, and the way that you take in information, and the way that you create? Yeah. Patricia, what if learning was actually just an experience or adventure? It's all an experience. It still is, right? It still is, Patricia. It's all an experience. And what I was asking, I think maybe before you came in, is one of the things I've been aware of and asking myself, how do I learn? Am I an experiential learner? Am I a cultural learner? Do I learn from my culture, right? Do I take the best and the juiciest bits and pieces and leave the rest behind, right? We're inundated with like culture vultures, right? You know, somebody will check the algorithm if you put 2 or 3 pops on your Facebook. Then they'll sell you this, or they send you this, right? Are you willing to just be present with all of that as just an interesting point of view, and then ask yourself, what is it that I'm asking to experience here, right? What am I asking to experience here? It's a great question, right? Are you including you in that question? What am I asking to experience here, right? Just today, I was just very quiet in my morning meditation, just going into the future and asking myself, so what is it that I'm asking to experience with my future? What do I see, and what are the possibilities there? And I saw myself painting. I saw myself working with clients. And I was like, oh, yeah, that feels yummy. So I'm going to be that energy now, right? Jump in both. Patricia says, jump in with both feet. Yes. I'm going to be that energy now, right? Because the way that I learn is to be the energy of what I'm asking to create 6 months from now. That's congruent with how I see myself, the energies of what I'm playing with, right? And so, you know, I'll often, with congruent living coaching, I'll ask my clients, what do you see? How do you see yourself 6 months from now? Well, taste it. What does it feel like? Is it congruent with who you be? If it's not, let's ask some questions, because it's about living in the question of your life. Questions open up windows and doors. Right? That's a capacity that we all have, one in which I share with my clients. What question can we ask here? Right? And what's underneath that? And what's underneath that? And what's underneath that? Right? To get at that space and place of you. And yes, it's all an adventure, right? You chose a body in this lifetime. As a little star seed, you came along saying, oh, I'll choose this body. Let's see what we can create. Let's have a human experience. I wonder what this could create for the world, for myself. Yeah. Hey, Jeanette. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks, Patricia. Anybody else have any ahas, any comments that they want to make? You know, if you have a question, if you're new to Ask Susan, it's going to be in somebody else's head. You know, we're not singular alone, right? So if you have a question or a comment, pop it in here. This is kind of an interesting time in our lives, in the lives of the planet, to be able to take an aerial look and to ask, so what is it that brings me joy? What is it that I require here? Am I willing to receive everything that I've learned, right, with no point of view? What could that create, right? What could that create? And the thing is, if you're willing to actually roll up your sleeves and take a moment, take some time and be quiet with yourself and just be aware of how you learn and be that vibration, you will attract similar vibrations that will give you the information, the clarity, the whatever it is, the money, the relationship, the life, the living that you're asking for, right? Ask and you shall receive. Are you willing to be the energy of the way in... Oops, sorry. That was Kelsey. Oh, maybe there's something she wants to add. So that would be my request of you. That's your home play, right? Does this bring me joy? Is the way that I learn, what ways do I learn that bring me joy, right? And are you willing to ask more of that, invite more of that into your life and living? I'll often buy a book and I'll read 3 pages and I'm like, oh, this is it. And then I've gotten whatever it is that I require from it, and off it goes, right? No judgment, right? Are you willing to be without judgment in the way that you learn? Hi, Parita, welcome, welcome. So again, how does it affect who you be, right? Hey, Mary, great. Hold on, let's see. When you mentioned the school experience, I see that mine are similar. Yay, creatives. And that's always been a point of self-criticism for me. Yes. So thank you so much, Mary. Okay, now let's turn it, everything's the opposite of what appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. What if you ask, what's behind that, right? So I, for myself, was always trying to fit in. So it was more the judgment of, dang, how come everybody can fit in but I can't? How come and then once I got over that, I said, well, not everybody chooses to hitchhike through Mexico when they're 16. That would be me. Not everybody, goes back to undergrad school raising 4 kids under the age of 12. That would be me. So I guess, Mary, my question would be, would you be willing to acknowledge that there is no one else like you, right? And when that self-criticism, you might ask, who does that belong to, right? Where am I trying to fit in? That's what I've been playing with recently. And that's why I say go out 6 months, get a vision of you, get a taste of you, get a sense of the possibilities of you, be that energy. Because then that, whatever it was, self-criticism has to do with the past. Whatever judgments were in the past, I just go, nope, not going there. That's actually a little trick I use for myself. I'm like, nope, not going there. And if you're willing to go into the future, if you're willing to get those energies, some people call it upgraded energies, some people call them quantum energies, whatever that is for you, it's get a sense of that, right? And that's what I was doing this morning. I went there, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And so I went there to the future, and I got the sense of me painting, being present with my clients, and it was just like my whole body was like, yummy. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll have that, right? So it's about being willing to receive the energies that create and let the other stuff go. Because the truth is, you were never like anybody else anyway, right? So it's like, let me know if that assists you at all, Mary. Daniel, getting the voices, point of view of family and this reality out of the picture, learning and creating. Absolutely, because they're not in the picture. I love that. We create, we create a picture that actually has nothing to do with who we be, right? We're taught a picture that has nothing to do with who you be. I remember my mom at one point used to, everything was about my past, my past, my past. And she thought she was complimenting me, but she was just didn't feel light. And I said to her, you know what? Here's my commitment. We're not talking about me in the past anymore. And she just looked at me. And my brothers came in and she said, your sister just said I'm not allowed to talk about her in the past. And I said, that's right. And I said it in a way that was really, really present. So that she knew if she wanted to see me anymore, that was a deal for me, right? So again, it's honoring you, how you be, how you want to be, what brings you joy. That's all, it's all learning, right? We never stop learning. The thing is, we have this innate knowing. And it's matching your learning to your innate knowing of what brings you joy and what creates for you. Mary, yes, that makes sense. Snaps to that. It's like, And sometimes, like, I'm a textural over everything learner, so it has to go in here and like that, right? It's like, no, not doing that. Because the thing is, Mary, and everybody else is listening, when you go down that road, and Daniel too, when you go down the road of the we'll call it negativity, it has to do with the past, right? That's something that you were taught to receive in order to please somebody. Like, yeah, I'll take your shit as long as you feed me, or you put a house over my head, or whatever that is, right? That's that you're trying to survive as a child. So you figure out really quickly what would create the greatest amount of possibilities for you. Well, you're not a child anymore. So it's about acknowledging, oh, that's what that was. Okay, never mind. Snap. Get a sense of you 6 months from now. Again, that's how we play with congruent living coaching. And I walk my talk. I do it for myself as well. Daniel, let's see okay, my mom used to tell me I was out in La La Land. Exactly. All my pipe dreams, and I would never amount to a hill of beans. You fooled her, didn't you, Daniel? No need to get your feet planted on the ground. Hey, Gulshan. Yes, absolutely. My mom used to say, Earth to Susan, Earth to Susan. Well, the fact was I was playing in the solar systems and beyond. So she was actually correct when she said Earth to Susan, right? So, Daniel, what if that was actually an awareness, that people couldn't reach you because you were playing in so many different dimensions all at once? You wouldn't be that congruent, would you, Daniel, with who you be? Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Sylvia, thank you for all your comments. If you're coming in now, we've covered a lot of juicy bits. You'll want to have a re-listen, and if you're coming later, press hashtag replay and write in your comments. I check in every day, and I will comment back. So how has this conversation been for everybody? Can I see some thumbs up or hearts? It's so important that we tap into our innate being, our resource. You are your own resource, right? Oh, I got some hearts, yay. You are your own resource, right? If it doesn't work for you, it's not going to work. No matter, how you try and you learn something and it's like driving a standard car as if it's an automatic and you hear the clutch go and the sounds and because that's not you, that's not joy, right? You're not going to miss out on anything. A lot of people decide they have to learn a certain way because they have FOMO, fear of missing out. Again, that's this reality that has nothing to do with you, your brilliance, the way that you learn and how that you learn. And it does, I found it really did affect me, right? Me, the human being that came to the planet, not me, the inner source. Me, the inner source, knew all along, no, come on, babe, you follow your own. Yeah. Patricia, hill of beans, look what that did for Jack and the Beanstalk. You got it, Patricia. Yeah, right? Absolutely. So anyway, you've got your home play. Thank you so much. I so appreciate all of you popping in on these Sundays. Spoiler alert, we're going to be having another party. That was so much fun. The first time we had, for those of you who don't know, a congruent living party. We had, I think, 3 people attending. Last month we had 40 people registered and 20 people attending, and so we're going for more. It'll be I'll put it down, the Zoom down here when we get it. If you're interested in coming to the party, press hashtag party, and I'll make sure that you get an invitation from me to you. It'll be the last Ask Susan Sunday of this month of September, and guess what we're going to be playing with? Congruent Living Creation Party and hashtag transformation, because that's what we've been talking about all September, right? Transforming how you learn, who you be, what you be, how you play. And come on over to Congruent Quickies on my personal page on Wednesday, where we'll have a bit of a quickie on congruent transformations. I adore you all. I like to keep these short and sweet. Thank you so much. Again, I'm so grateful for you all. If you have a question, if you'd like to work with me, if you're interested in congruent living coaching and you're looking for support and somebody who has your back, just private message me. We'll get on a call and see what it is that you're asking for what's not working, and let's see what we can create together, because it's not about being stuck in the way that you've been taught you have to be you. It's about opening up those doors and windows. Yeah, because that says thank you party, #party. Opening up those doors and windows to more of you. The more of you there is of you with you, the more you're willing to receive, the more the universe is playing with you. And just feel that sense radiating out, right? To you, the world, and beyond. I wonder what that could create. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be, because the world needs more of your brilliance, more of your shine, more of your radiance, not less. I adore you, and I will see you next Sunday, right here. Every Sunday we're here on Ask Susan Sunday Live. And if you have a special theme you want to talk about, let me know. That's how these themes come up, from your questions. I'm so grateful for you, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.